Am I the a-hole for not wanting my soon-to-be brother-in-law at my wedding? I 26F am about to get married to my wonderful fiancé 28M. He and I have been together for 5 years and our wedding is set to take place in this spring. So for some backstory, when I was 18 I was on one date with a guy who was 18 too. We went out to dinner and I thought we had a really great time and really liked him. After our date, I texted him telling him I had a great time and I would love to meet him again. He just responded with telling me thanks, that he enjoyed our date but did not find a connection with me and would not want to see me anymore as he felt it would not be fair to me. I really liked this guy and was heartbroken, but I moved in. 3 years later I met my now husband. When I met him I had no idea as to who he was. We hit it off and clicked instantly and fell hard for each other. It was not until 6 months later when I was at dinner with his family and his brother was there that I realized that his brother was the guy I went on a date with. I explained this to my husband. He was fine with it. I also messaged his brother telling him I did not know they were related in any way but that I really liked his brother and would like it if he did not let our past together disturb my relationship. He responded by telling me that we were all good. However, he has continually flirted with me. When we meet him for dinner, he always flirts, saying stuff like telling me my dress looks nice, that I look great or telling me a specific thing on the menu looks like something I would like. He always does this in front of my husband who has not said a word about this. He also tries to make me jealous all the time, like when we all are out with his family he sometimes bring a girl with him if they have been dating for some time and he will always kiss her on the cheek, talk with her all the time and flirting with her. I have kept my mouth shut about this as to not cause anything bad between him and my fiancé, but with wedding planning and sending out invites, I just had to say something. I told him I don't want his brother there because his brother always flirts with me and tries to make me jealous. My fiancé looked dumbfounded and asked when this happens, if his brother does this stuff when he is at the bathroom or simply not looking. I told him no and brought up all the things I did here. My fiancé laughed and asked me if I was okay in the head and if I was joking. I got angry at him and said that if he could not see how truly disgusting his brother's behavior is then he is not who I thought he was. We have barely talked since this. I got a text from his brother saying that he was sorry if he ever made me feel uncomfortable and that he had no intention to make me feel that way. My fiancé is still mad at me. Am I the a-hole for walking out of an autistic person's birthday party? I, 15F, have no clue how birthdays work. My birthday has never been celebrated or even acknowledged my entire life, and I have never received a cake or birthday gift before. It is the same for all holidays as well. A couple days ago, my mom told my little brother, 9, and I that we were going to a dinner party of her past student for high school graduation. She teaches SPED. We said okay. Before we went to the party, my mom told us we had to pick up a cake first. It was a cake with his name on it and balloon frosting designs. When we got to the party, my mom said happy birthday, and handed him the cake. I was really upset and wanted to cry but I ignored it. And it was his 21st birthday. He had graduated high school years ago. I felt really upset the entire time, watching him blow out candles, being sang happy birthday, opening gifts. My brother whispered to me asking why we were at a birthday, when mom said we weren't allowed to do anything birthday related. I said because nobody cares about us. He said if you ever plan on running away from home, I want you to take me with you. I really wanted to cry in that moment so I asked him if he wanted to take a moment and we left the house and took a walk around the neighborhood. We came back when it was time to go home, and mom yelled at me during the car ride. She wanted me to take pictures of the party and her, but she couldn't find me and she said I humiliated her. I told her that as her children, we should take priority and that it's super hypocritical of her to be so against birthdays yet celebrate someone else's, and even buy them a birthday cake. She told me it's because he's autistic and needs to be happy. And I said right. And we don't need to be happy, right? She told me I was being a spoiled brat. Am I the a-hole for using weaponized incompetence back on my son to make a point? I am so tired. My son, 15, has been messing up all of his chores on purpose. I started to teach him how to cook more complex stuff and other stuff, like proper deep cleaning, how to clean the bathroom well, laundry. Think grown-up chores. He messes up. At first I thought he was just having a harder time so I spent more time on it with him. It was driving me insane because I tried so many ways to teach him and I was getting quite frustrated. I even went to book an appointment to see if he had ADHD or something. I cancelled it after I heard him talking with his friend bragging how he got out of his chores by messing them up. I sat him down and talked to him and he denied that, saying he doesn't get it. He went as far as say it wasn't a big deal, he can't do it. So after I have been messing up his stuff on purpose to show how much of an inconvenience it is. For example, forgot to turn on the dryer so he had wet clothes. We got in an argument today thinking I am a huge jerk and that he knows I am doing it on purpose. I told him that is the point and I won't stop until he does his stuff correctly. He won't talk to me and my husband is on his side. Am I the a-hole for telling my son I don't care that he doesn't like the food, eat what he ordered or skip dinner? I need outside opinions on this. My son is 12 and he'll order the adventurous stuff on the menu when he knows that he has issues with different textures. We have done this dance as many times at this point. He will order something out there, take a single bit and then want my food. I have had this conversation so many times. This time when he went out to eat I informed him that I will not give him my food. I ordered some chicken, and he got a fish soup. Well, he didn't like it and asked for my chicken. I told him no and he complained he was hungry. This is when I told him I don't care that he doesn't like the food and that he needs to eat what he ordered or skip dinner. When we got home he complained I starved him. He literally said this while making a sandwich. This resulted in an argument with my wife. She thinks I am a huge jerk and I am sick of never getting to eat what I order. Am I the a-hole for nuking my niece's social media accounts? So, a couple of weeks ago I, M35, had my sister, F39, and her family, including niece, F11, over for a barbecue. We had a pretty good time, with the exception of niece who was pretty much constantly on her phone recording TikToks. Slightly annoying but ultimately not my kid, not my problem. I've talked to my sister a while ago about being careful what niece is putting online, protecting her identity etc. My sister brushed it off, saying that niece was sensible enough not to do anything stupid. I figure I'd try and bridge the gap, so I asked niece what she's recording. It's a TikTok. You're old, you wouldn't get it. I work in tech, so it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I decide to let it slide and do some digging later. Turns out niece has used her full government name to register for TikTok, with links to her public Instagram with the same name, so I did what any reasonable person would do, reported everything for being under 13. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything I could find. With the nature of TikTok trends, some of the stuff on there was stuff that 11-year-olds probably shouldn't be doing, and definitely shouldn't be recording. Fast forward to today, sister calls me and asks me if I can have a look at niece's iPad. Apparently she can't log into any of her accounts and she's having a meltdown about it. I talk her through it and it quickly becomes apparent that the accounts are blocked and asking for ID. I'm in two minds whether to tell her it was me that reported the account or just tell her to submit the ID knowing it'll get niece permabanned.